Alright, so I think we're ready now. So we are doing some pre-departure tips. So these are basically departure tips if you're planning on going on work and travel, right? So I have my list. So basically these are departure tips if you're planning on going on work and travel. If you're interested, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let's get into it. So, the first thing you need to do before you leave, because that is what departure means, the first thing you do before you leave is you need to book the ticket. You need to book the plane ticket. That's the first thing you need to get done. Now, the earlier you do the embassy interview, is the earlier you can book the ticket, basically, right? So the earlier you do the embassy interview, or if you got a interview waiver, like what most people got this year, if you did that and you got that, then you skip the interview, basically. But the point is that the sooner that you go on the portal on the embassy website and them say approved and them say issued, you can book your tickets, right? So basically, booking your ticket is the first step. Now in Jamaica, we know that we have two airports. So it's either Mobe or Kingston, right? Now Montego Bay usually have the cheaper flights, right, than Kingston. So if you're looking for a cheaper option, then you know that you can go with the Montego Bay route. If you live close to the Kingston and you just want to work with Kingston and you don't mind paying a little bit extra, you just go with Kingston. It doesn't matter, right? So you need to book the plane ticket first things first as you're getting ready for departure. Now, this next thing is absolutely important. You see, after you book that ticket, you need to contact the employer and let them know the day that you're coming. Let them know the day that you're going to land in that state, because more than likely what I've realized with this work and travel thing is that most persons end up having, they have to basically do layovers in other states. For example, when I went last year, I had a layover in Georgia. I was in Georgia for 18 hours. I was in Minnesota for maybe 1 hour. But the point is that you're going to be in other states. So it's not like a straight flight for most of them. I'm not saying all. Because, for example, you get somewhere like New York, maybe you can get a straight flight going to New York from Jamaica. But basically, in my situation where I was going way up north, if you go Wisconsin, if you go Michigan, if you go up top, you know, so you have to stop in the other states in order to get there. So just be prepared for that, just be prepared for that part. So you need to let them know the day that you're going to be landing in your assigned state, and let them know the airport, the time, everything. Why is this so important? Because some employers, or most employers, usually do pickups, right? Because some of these places on work and travel are usually some small towns, like Uber and them, something and run at them, the small town them. So it means that they have to come pick you up from that airport, because Uber don't really run like that. You get what I'm saying? So you have to have your basically your own private transportation in order to get from point A to point B, basically. So that is why it's so important to let them know the day that you're arriving. So you book the ticket. Then next, you're gonna let the employer know when you are coming. Let them know. Do not just show up. Don't book the ticket. Hop on the plane, and when you reach, you go there and I try email, and you have to catch Wi-Fi, and you don't email them. Make sure say you make some travel plans, as in with them, if you come pick you up or anywhere you go. If them say them not pick you up, you better find your way around and know, okay, you're gonna take the bus here, and them are gonna pick you up there. So you just have to basically keep them informed, and don't just go book the ticket, jump on the plane, and get me saying, just ensure say just make them know when you're coming, right? So now the next thing is finding airports in the area where your employer is willing to pick up, right? And it goes back to basically telling your employer, because if you tell him, say, if for example on my job offer there are two airports that it said that my employer would be willing to pick up from, if I have airport in the place in another area and your employer say only two of them I can pick you up from, the smart thing to do is to choose one out of the two that is going to pick you up. Why you go one far one where you know them not come for you, if you go hop on bus and one bag or something? Please read your job offer. Read the job offer, and if them say them come pick you up in a Whopper King Philip, make sure Whopper King Philip you're there. Make sure there is where you're going to land. Do not go stranded off and go on a far place, and when you reach a bus you have to take and a drag the suitcase and one bag or something. Don't do that. Like, don't do that. So basically, find airports in the area where the employer is willing to pick up, and then inform them when you book the ticket and everything start out and blah blah blah. So that is the first big gap or big sum of the tips, basically. Right? So now this next thing is not mandatory, but they usually say that you can buy your manager, or basically you can buy some souvenirs to give them, right? So basically at the end of the summer, which last year I never buy none, I didn't know about it, but when I can't bother, I just didn't really pay no mind. I did broke too, so it's like me not say I want to go buy a souvenir, what I say? But at the end of the summer last year, turns out that I had good co-workers and a good manager. So like me, I said to myself, me should I buy a souvenir card and give them at the end of the summer, because they were actually nice. Right. Now basically yeah, they were nice. So what you can do is you can buy them like a keychain, or maybe one of them little plastic wristband. They just want like something like a wristband, keychain, something with a little, even one like a Jamaican flag, look at something. But basically you can buy them something as a souvenir, and it's not mandatory, but it's just being nice, because you realize that with American culture, they are just generally nice people, even when maybe they necessarily don't mean it. Their culture is just to be nice. For example, how in Jamaica we can just loud, up in your face, and yeah, we not hide nothing. That's their culture, to be nice, and that's just their culture. Now, the next thing you need to do, and it goes back to the airport thing now. So basically, you need to find out how much it's going to cost you for your check-on bags. So basically, most airlines, I know the American Airlines and also Delta, you can get a free carry-on, one personal item. So basically, that would mean, like, for example, if you have a handbag or a knapsack. So for example, you have a knapsack and you have a smaller suitcase, those can go on the plane with you. If you have a bigger suitcase, then that is going to be a check-on bag that cannot go on a plane with you. Also, beware of the rules. So certain things like liquids and certain amount of ounces and gun, ammunition, certain kind of weapons, sharp objects cannot be going on a plane with you. So if you know you have a scissors, the scissors not going to go on a plane with you. If you bring scissors or anything sharp, just fling it in the check-on bag, because when you're basically going through the machine something, it's going to give you a problem, and I'm going to take it away from you, because you're not supposed to bring that on the plane. So better if you have anything sharp or anything weird, you're not supposed to bring, fling it in the check-on bag. Do not bring it in the carry-on. You're going to put yourself in a peer problem. Not to mention when you actually get over there, because you see Jamaica, the system we have in Jamaica and at the airport, the local machine something, it cannot compare to the ones that they have in the US airports. Because me I tell you, last year me I go through that airport, me I say, no man, you see them have them dog and I sniff the entire line. That's one. When you go in the machine, if you wear a hoodie, you have to take off the hoodie, and you have to go like this, and the machine thing will close with you and then open with you. In Jamaica, we don't have that. So just be ready for all of that, basically. Right? So just ensure the prices, and just be prepared. Okay, by the way, you don't need to bring more than one check-on bag. You don't need 2, 3, 4 bag. Truth is that, and you can watch the video how to pack for work and travel. You can watch that video. But basically, you don't need to buy up all of that stuff, because guess what? When you go over there and start work, you're going to start buy things, and you're not going to wear what you carry. Like, honestly, me I tell you from experience, when me go there last year, the clothes sit down in the bag. Me there work every day, like, and even when me get a chance to go out, me I buy clothes to go out. Me don't want to wear them there. Me don't want to wear them there. Me don't want to wear them there. I want to wear the new clothes that I buy. So you got to understand. But bring like something, but you don't need a lot like that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, and this is from experience. You can watch the how to pack video, and you can watch the long layover, how to navigate a long layover video as well. You can go ahead and watch that as well. But yeah, interest, the prices, the check-on bag should be between $30 and $40. You're not supposed to pass that, 30 and 40. Because last year I paid 30, and I think American Airlines are charged maybe 35 this year, I think. But you can check it, this is between 30 and 40 USD basically, right? And also ensure that you bring sweater. This is the next point. Ensure that you bring sweaters, because especially if you're going up north like Wisconsin or Michigan, up at top in America, the place they don't know seasons. So you go, like for example, when I went there last year, the place did not get warm until like July month end into August. So it means that May I was cold, June I was also cold, and for piece of July, most of July I did cold as well. So basically, ensure you bring sweaters. Ensure that you wear sweaters in the airport, and ensure that you pack sweaters because you're going to be cold. Me I tell you from experience, I got cold. Them no know season over there, because me I tell you, say in a big May, me over there freeze. In June I was also freezing, socks pan foot every night. I got my bed, everything. Me feel turn up the heater and the house where me cold. You get me I say? Because when you see, me check the phone and me see some 1 degrees, me say 1 degrees in a big old summer. And what the thing about it, even if the place warm up, it's gonna get like maybe 8 degrees, 10 degrees, 11 degrees. It now go up to like 30 odd degrees or we're having in Jamaica. It now reach up there so until like maybe in August. But the point is, bring sweaters because you're going to be cold. Next point is you need to plan your transport to the airport, whether you're going to take Knutsford or you're going to have somebody bring you to the airport. Just plan your transport to the airport. And ensure that you have American dollars. You have to go buy some US. So you can go Cambio if you know somebody will sell some US, some legit real US, you can buy it from them, but you can go Cambio and buy some US dollars. I'm not sure the rate there, but I think one US is equal to 155 Jamaican, I think should be right. But ensure you have US dollars, because guess what? Don't go over there and bring no Visa card and say, oh, me take off your money, mama. Ensure you have cash. Because, alright, you see this whole work and travel thing? Then tell us you have to bring 1,000 USD. So ensure you have the people I'm housing deposit in your pocket. You hear me I say? Ensure you have the people I'm housing deposit. And ensure you have money. For example, you have a layover and you go hungry in the airport, you can buy a little McDonald's or something to eat in the airport. You can buy one water drink. You get me? So when you reach, you have people them housing deposits, so ensure so you have enough money and don't go over there go broke. Do not go over there broke, and do not do it. Right? And if you're going to have a next point now, if you're going to have a long layover, ensure so you dress for it. Like socks, pants, maybe 2 or 3 shirt. Ensure you have like a little blanket or like a towel, like a something, because when you're going to be sleeping in the airport, so you need to be prepared for that. If you want to know how to basically how to basically navigate a long layover, if you want to know that, you can go and see this. But basically you need to dress for it, socks, pants, foot pants, everything, comfort, neck pillow, everything, right? But basically this is just like a summary list. If this at all helps you, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And that's the end of these departure tips for work and travel. And bye guys.